understanding, shall we say. COVID has hit everybody extremely, extremely hard, but for our young people, the kind of easiest way I can put that, I'm, you know, 54 years of age. COVID impacted 2 years of my life. So what's that? 1/27th of my life, COVID has impacted. Our young leavers this year can be 16, 17, 18. So that's an eighth of their life. That's a massive impact it's had on them. So we're speaking with employers and saying, please, please, please bear that in mind when you are recruiting young people. The other thing to take into consideration is work placement hasn't been available in the last 2 years in the same manner. We've done a lot of virtual activity, but that is nowhere near as good as that face-to-face opportunity of linking with employers. So our young people that are leaving this year, all 4,600 of them, because that's kind of a guesstimated number we have every year, are not necessarily in the best position that they have been year on year. However, Glasgow is very, very fortunate. We have 30 secondary schools in Glasgow, and they are all working to ensure that their young people have the best possible start for leaving them. And that includes looking at other form of qualifications. And we've been doing this for a few years pre-COVID, but COVID kind of brought it to the front, and we now have St Paul's, who have managed to attain the SCQF level silver on developing SCQF opportunities within their school. So I will pass you after this over to Aileen McManus to kind of give you a flavour of what that looks like. I don't know about everybody else in the call, but at 50 odd years of age going to school, I sat standard grades and higher, and that's all that was available. In Glasgow for the last 20 years, we've worked really closely with our colleges to look at NCs, HNs being delivered to our young people within school, which is not necessarily a Nat 5 and a higher, but it's equivalent to. So we're 22 years in the making of doing that. So speaking with employers, it's about looking at the alternative opportunities, the alternative qualifications our young people have, and marrying that up to the SCQF level framework that will let the employers understand better the kind of levelling or the equivalent of what does that mean in Nat 5s or Nat 4s or Nat 3s or hires or advanced hires or SVQs, etc., etc. So one of the things I would say is we find a large number of employers, and I'm going to put my hands up and say Glasgow City Council included, who look to recruit modern apprentices or starting entry qualification jobs, and actually do ask for Nat 5 English and Maths. What I would say too, and I am saying to Glasgow City Council and employers, is you are losing a large number of opportunities to engage with young people who have not got Nat 5 English and Maths, however, have got very, very good vocational equivalencies or alternatives. So my director, Jerry Lyons, has been known to say, whose past includes English teaching, a young person who can sit Nat 5 English and pass it means that A, they have the ability to sit a physical exam and under exam conditions and prove their ability. They also have the ability to understand 3 books, quote them, including at times Shakespeare, which is phenomenal, and that's absolutely phenomenal. However, a young person who has a Nat 5 equivalency, which includes communication, can mean the same. That young person getting into the world of work can be as capable of a young person sitting with a Nat 5 English. Nat 5 maths is one of the hardest, most difficult qualifications in Scotland for a young person to gain. So it is different from arithmetic and maths and literacy and numeracy. And my ask of employers is to take that into consideration. Education in Glasgow is more than happy, myself, the rest of the team is more than happy to support employers in recruitment of our young people. And that is just by emailing us and saying, this is what I'm looking for. What should I be asking? And I know the SCQF team would be happy to support that as well. So my ask is to think wider than our academic qualifications for young people from Glasgow, because they have a wealth of qualifications which gives them a wealth of experience, a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of understanding that I know will stand you in good stead to be for these young people to come into your business, engage in the tasks that's required of them, learn in the way that they need to learn, and for your point of view to have a really good employee for their point of view, which is where my heart lies, for to be a really good citizen within Glasgow, to help the economics of Glasgow and to set them up for their next steps into their future career. So I will be here for the whole presentation. My email address will be shared with no difficulty, and I'm happy to answer any questions at the end. I am also very happy to answer and support any Glasgow employers to recruit our Glasgow young people. So please feel free. To put this in context, Aileen McManus, one of my colleagues from St Paul's, one of the deputies in St Paul's, have got a really good presentation, which I'll do the Glam Assistant and link on, and a phenomenal YouTube video, which can be accessed just to let people get a better understanding of what does these wider qualifications mean to an employer, but what do they also mean to a young person? So if it's okay with yourself, Aileen, if you give me a couple of seconds, I'm hoping it should only be a couple of seconds to get the PowerPoint, and then I will hand over to yourself.
Thanks so much, Michelle, and thank you to everybody who's come on the call today. As Michelle said, my name's Aileen McManus. I'm a teacher at St Paul's High School. I do quite a lot of work on the DYW, and I've been kind of involved in the school, and as achieving this silver award as a SCQF Ambassador School. So delighted to have this opportunity to tell you a little bit about it. I hope everyone can hear me okay. Go on the chat if there's any problems, and hopefully nobody will run into my office at the time when we're doing this.
And that shows it's real life. Sorry, can I just confirm that is the presentation on screen?
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. I can see it. It's perfect.
Fantastic, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. So basically in November 2019, Donnie Wood, who's on the call from the SCQF partnership, came to speak to all the leaders in the school about the SCQF and how to become an ambassador school. So we kind of went into lockdowns and school closures and things after that, but since we've been back this year, we've been managing to really go at it, and we're delighted to receive this award. Basically, through being a SCQF Ambassador School, been working really hard to promote the SCQF across the school to all the staff, but also to the pupils and the parents and the carers as well, so they understand what it is. So if some of you are maybe aware of what it looks like, that's the SCQF framework there. And what we've been teaching all the boys and girls and parents and carers is what it's all about really, and how it works, and how the qualifications that you can study through school, which you can see there in red, They can then move on and do the ones at college and university, which are the ones in green, and also how the ones that you can get through work all fit into the framework. They're highlighted in yellow there. And you can see the SCQF levels down the left-hand side, 1 all the way through up to 12. And we talked to the boys and girls and the parents and carers about all the different types and how they're equivalent to things. So, for example, your higher's SCQF level 6, but we also have NPA or National Progression Awards that we can deliver in school or that young people can do in college as part of their timetable, which are also level 6. And how they can progress in their pathway from the qualifications they get at school through to college, university and into work. Another wee example there is the foundation apprenticeships that young people can do in school, and they're at SCQF level 6 as well, which is equivalent to higher. So that's a wee bit about the framework, and we use this during subject option time to support the young people in making their choices, but also talking to parents and carers at option interviews and option evenings as well, so that they've got a good grasp on it as well. So if we can have the next slide, please, Michelle. This is our SCQF ambassadors. So as part of gaining our silver SCQF partnership award, we recruited some senior pupils in the school, and it's basically their job to promote the SCQF framework to everybody, to their peers, to parents and carers, and also to staff and things as well. So because of all the kind of school lockdowns and things, rather than making PowerPoints, we didn't think that we would get the chance to deliver them in person, because we weren't having parents in. They made this little video about the kind of things that have been going on in school, and this has been shown to all the pupils during their pathway events. It's been shown to parents during information evenings and things as well. So hopefully this will give you a kind of visual idea of the kind of different subjects that are maybe not so traditional, and how it's helping the young people to plan their pathways as they move through their journey in education. So if Michelle, you can put the video on, that'd be magic. Thanks. Fingers crossed.
Sorry, that's the wrong thing. 2 seconds. Try to get it here. Knew this would have happened. IT. Do have it on my. Right, one last try this way.
What we can maybe do, if it's not going to work for us today, is the little link to the YouTube video that our ambassadors made is on that slide there, and maybe if the PowerPoint slides could be shared, people could watch the video after.
It is on my screen, I just don't know how to get it shown. So can you give me one last try?
Okay. No, it's a real shame. It just keeps popping back up with the slide. It's not actually showing the video.
I think I might have it.
Oh, well done. Yep, it's there. Hopefully the volume will work as well.
Don't think we have volume there, do we?
I can't hear any volume, unfortunately. Someone's saying, I think you need to select include computer sound when you share. Thank you for that tip, Rebecca.
Apologies, I don't think I can get the sound.
No.
Yeah.
Apparently, I think we can possibly come back to that at the end if we can figure that out.
Okay.
Okay, if we can go back to the PowerPoint then, I'll talk a wee bit about the curriculum that we are delivering in St Paul's. This is our senior phase curriculum. So this is for pupils that are in S5 and S6. There we go. So you can see that the young people in S5 and S6, they do 5 different subjects. They get them 6 periods a week. And you'll notice that quite a number of the subjects are very different from the traditional subjects that I certainly did at school, things you might not recognise as well. So we've also tried to make sure that we're talking about the level as SCQF level 6 and 7. So that's equivalent to higher and advanced higher. And the SCQF levels 4 and 5 are equivalent to like your national 4 or your national 5s. So in column A, you can see things like criminology is a new one that we're doing this year at level 5. It's an NPA, National Progression Award. Young people are quite excited about that. Science department and social subject teachers are delivering it. At the bottom, the skills for work hairdressing at Harper's Salon. So the ones in red are delivered by some partners that we work with. And Harper's Salon's one of our partners, and the young people go to the salon at Barrhead for a full day on a Monday when the salon's closed, and they learn hairdressing, and they get the National 4 or National 5 skills for work hairdressing qualification. You also, for the other periods that are in school, I take them and they do an NPA in employability and enterprise. So they learn some business skills and how to prepare for work and run a wee enterprise project. In column B, you can see the communication. At level 6 that Michelle was talking about earlier, the English department deliver that. We've got things like Higher Dance, the Duke of Edinburgh Award, Aspiring Performers Programme with Rugby, that's in partnership with Borders College. We've also got NPA Modern Languages for Life and Work at levels 6 as well. That's going to be new this year. We've got the Caritas Award, which is delivered by the RE department. It's SCQF level 5, and they do lots of leadership things within the community, in school and out with school community. And column C, I can't see the subjects in below there, but if we move to what we've got there that's a wee bit different. There's the NPA Art and Design again at level 5 or level 6 as well. Column D, we've got accountancy, we've got ESOL, which has been a brilliant subject for some of our young people who have got English as additional language. They're achieving that at level 6 at higher, equivalent to higher in National 5 as well. So that's really helping them to access university and college places if they're not quite going to be able to actually do the higher or the National 5 English. We've got the foundation apprenticeship, some young people go to college. Further down, we've got travel and tourism. We're working in partnership with First Steps, which is a training provider out in East End, and they're doing construction. There's a group that go over there on a Tuesday, and they work towards achieving their CSCS card. So they know all about health and safety, and they've got that wee extra step to be able to access apprenticeships, which I'll talk more about in a wee minute. And we're also working in partnership with another training provider called Tigers, and they come to the school and they're delivering the skills for work, early education and childcare at levels 4 and 5. Finally, on the last column, we've got things like the SFA Referees Development Award that's delivered by the PE department. The Youth Achievement Award is helping young people to develop their leadership skills. And also the Barista Award is a new one for us this year. They're achieving that award at level 5 and learning how to make lattes and all sorts about food and drink, and that's delivered by the Health and Food Technology Department. So if you can move on to the next slide for us, please, Michelle. How has this impacted on the pathways and on our pupils? Well, our strapline's no wrong path. Not just going to college, not just going to university. Some people might go to college, then go to university. Some people might just want to go into work and they might want to do a modern apprenticeship when they leave school. So we encourage them really to look at the different pathways that they can take. And especially for those who might be thinking that they'd like to go to university, the different routes you can go to university, how you can do HNCs and HNDs at college that articulate with university programmes. We're finding that a lot of the young people are a lot more engaged with our curriculum now, with the different variety of subjects that we're offering, and that they are achieving. And I would say really the partners that we're working with, they're developing really positive relationships with those adults, and they're really engaged in the curriculum. They're a wee bit more informal than maybe what the teachers in school would be, and a lot of young people seem to work with that and prefer that, which has improved their attendance for some young people who maybe struggle to sort of maintain sort of engagement in the mainstream subjects. And that all that together, I would say, has helped to continue to improve our destinations. And I'm delighted that our positive destination stats for last year was over 98%. So that was fantastic. So to finish off, I've got some good news stories for you. Thank you, Michelle. So I talked about Harper's Salon. So this young lady you can see on the left-hand side in the photograph, when she was in 4th year, she did the Skills for Work hairdressing at level 4 with Harper's Salon. She returned to school for 5th year. But we have recently found out that she's still interested in the hairdressing, and she has started a modern apprenticeship with Harper's Salon in the last 3 or 4 weeks. So that's fantastic. We've also got another young lady down here on the right who was doing the Skills for Work early education and childcare at level 5 that Tigers was delivering for us this year in school. She really struggled to sort of go to lots of classes in school, but she really bonded with the trainer from Tigers, and she had excellent attendance on that class, and she's now moved on to start a foundation apprenticeship, SCQF level 6 in social services, children and young people, and Tigers will be delivering that for her as part of her 5th year. So that's next year. Also our partnership with First Steps, who are supporting our young people get their CSCS card, with some great news that these young people here, we've got on the left Lewis McKelvey. He's been successful in getting an apprenticeship with WG Decor, so as a painter and decorator. Lewis has actually got difficulties with his hearing, and the employer WG Decor have been absolutely fantastic. They're really enjoying having Lewis, and they're really supportive. He seems to be getting involved in lots of their social activities as well, so that is a great news story. And Ricky Smith, you can see on the right hand side, he is now becoming a plumbing and heating engineer, and I think it's BS Plumbing is the name of the employer that he's working with, and again doing really great. So having those partnerships with various different employers and training providers and colleges and universities, really using the SCQF framework to develop our curriculum across the school, and promoting the SCQF framework to all the young people and their parents and carers. That has really been beneficial to us as a school, and we really feel that it's supporting the young people in developing their career journeys and helping them sort of plan their pathways into a career that suits them, which has been great as well for them getting some positive destinations. So thank you very much for listening, And again, if there's any questions that anybody wants to ask, or you want to get in touch and come and visit the school or anything, we'd be more than happy to facilitate that. So thank you.
That's great, Elaine. Thank you very much, and thanks, Michelle, as well. I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions that we'll get to at the end of that, but that really demonstrates the different type of activity going on in school. It's all progressive, it's all tangible, it's all creative. It's to make sure that our learners are getting the most out of their experience. And you can see that it also helps employers to come in and identify talent and shape talent, influence the curriculum, and how that would work against the framework. I'm going to hand you over to Nicola, who will take you through a bit of an in-depth presentation on what that actually looks like. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. The wonderful thing about going last here is that a lot of everything that I'm about to say has already been explained, and it's great to have it in the context. So, there we go. Can everybody see that okay? Can somebody let me know?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
we can.
fine.
Yep, sorry, Nicola. Yep.
Perfect. No, that's absolutely fine. I've just been at ones where you haven't been able to see it and nobody says, and it's a bit of a nightmare. So, my name is Nicola Smith, and I am the Employer Support Lead at the SCQF Partnership. It's my job to help employers understand the SCQF, the range of alternative qualifications that are out there that are now being done in schools, as we've seen so well from St Paul's this morning, and also the range to understand what SCQF levels mean in terms of employment. What does an employer working at a particular SCQF level actually look like? The SCQF is very well understood within education circles, but it's not so well understood amongst employers. So I provide support for employers. Please feel free to note down my email address and I'll give it to you at the end again, because I'm happy if you want to discuss what I'm going to be telling you in more depth. I'm happy to arrange a meeting where we can go through this and chat you through how this could help you with your recruitment, with your workforce development. So, there we go. So, the type of things that I can support employers with are understanding the SCQF, what's it all about, where did it come from, how can it help you, the range of those alternative qualifications that are out there, what does that look like in terms of equivalent skills and experience. I can also help you look at your job roles and decide what level of person, qualification or experience you're actually needing. I can also help you if you have your own in-house training to help you have that credit rated and placed on the SCQF. So that would be given a level and a number of credit points we'll talk about in a little minute. And I can tell you how all of this would help you within recruitment and retention. Employing people at the right level with the right skills helps make sure that you're getting the right people in your jobs and that they're going to stay with you and that they're going to be happy in the role they're in. So the first thing we'll do is talk about understanding qualifications. And as we saw earlier, this is our framework diagram. We were created 21 years ago with the purpose of bringing together as much learning as was happening across Scotland into the one framework so that we can do exactly what Aileen was saying there. We can look at what equates to other qualifications. So we know our standard mainstream school qualifications. I like to start with a higher because a higher hasn't changed its name or level for a very long time. So a higher sits at level 6 on the SCQF, but as you've seen really well, there are a whole range of things that young people can be doing in school and beyond that sit at level 6. My favourite statistic is that of all the qualifications we have on our database of what's on the SCQF, only 7% of qualifications at level 6 are hires. That means there's 93% of other qualifications that are at the same level of difficulty, but are not hires. And there will be similar percentages for National 4, National 5, the range of other qualifications. So what the SCQF does is it brings everything together under the one set of descriptions of what a learner has to be able to do at each level. And it lets you know that anything that at SCQF level 6, whether it's an SVQ, an apprenticeship, any of these other qualifications that you've seen this morning, it's the same level of difficulty and comparable with a higher or a national 5 or whatever qualification you're looking at. So just to orientate you, as I said, a higher sits at level 6. Degrees, an ordinary degree sits at level 9. Honours degree at 10, Masters at 11. But quite often we know some of the older qualifications. So if you were like me, you were, oh, sorry, I'll come back to that one. You were maybe at school when you were still sitting O grades. If you're me, I was somewhere between O grade and standard grade. So just to help you understand, looking back, a national 5 is equivalent to a standard grade higher in level of difficulty and the amount of time it took to do it, which is equivalent to one of the upper grades at O grade. A national 4 or any other qualification at SCQF level 4 is equivalent to a standard grade general, is equivalent to a lower grade, O grade. So that helps you understand in the context of qualifications that you might have taken yourself at school. But as we've seen, there's a huge range of different qualifications at these levels. We're just in the process of updating this diagram to show the wide range of things that are now available in the 2020s. And there are a huge range of different qualifications that people can take. So I mentioned, looking back at our framework diagram, these are the more mainstream qualifications, the SQA qualifications, higher education and vocational skills-based ones that could be taken in workplaces or colleges. But we also have, of the 11,700 and something qualifications that are on the SCQF, about 1,000 or so of them are from other places. So it's not schools, just schools, colleges and universities, but we have qualifications that can be taken in the workplace and qualifications that can be taken within the community as well. And this is where you'll also find some of those qualifications that Aileen talked about that are being done by alternative providers. So a lot of Glasgow schools I know do the Comedy and Confidence qualification, which is an external provider, which is a great qualification to help young people, particularly if they're going to be working with others, maybe in a public facing role, or just to develop their confidence in general. Fantastic qualification that is equivalent in level of difficulty and the amount of time it takes to a higher. SLQ Sports Leadership, another one that's being taken quite a lot. So these are qualifications that will give young people a range of skills and will allow them to show what they are capable of doing, but are not your traditional academic type qualifications. Only about 30% of people within a school are likely to really shine within that traditional academic route. The SCQF provides a way of describing qualifications and comparing qualifications for those other people who shine in different areas, who shine with more practical, more skills-based qualifications, but they are the same level of difficulty, and it allows you to compare those qualifications. Also have a database on our website. I'll not talk too much about this, but if you're interested in finding out about some of the qualifications that you might see cropping up on people's CVs and application forms, you can type in some of the keywords in here and press search. In fact, tick this little box in case it's no longer available if it's someone who's left school a little while ago. That brings in anything that was available in the SCQF over the last 8 or so years. And you can press search, and what it will do is it'll tell you what SCQF level that qualification is sitting at. So it's very useful for ones that you might not recognise so well. So that pretty much covers how you can understand those alternative qualifications that are out there. And I'm very happy for you to get in touch with me and find out if you're not sure and want to find out more or want to ask about specific qualifications, then I'm very happy for anyone to get in touch. One of the other things that we ask employers to think about is not just that range of other qualifications that are out there and understanding those, but also to think about what you actually need from an employee and the particular role that you're looking at. And we go through a process of deciding what SCQF level a job role actually sits at. And there are 2 publications on our website that are very, very helpful with this. So we have the Employer's Guide, which will take you through how you can use the SCQF in recruitment and retention, how you can use the SCQF for workforce development, and also how, if you've got any in-house courses that you would like credit rated and placed on the SCQF, then it'll tell you how to do that as well. And if you're interested, please get in touch, because we run courses that help you get any qualifications you might be doing or training that you might have in-house, suitable and ready for credit rating. We'll tell you how to do that. But this publication uses this other one here, which is the Employer Levelling Tool. And this is a really, really useful publication that looks at what does somebody working at these different levels with these different types of qualifications, what does that look like? What does that mean in employee terms? So this can be used in 2 ways. The first way is to make sure that you're looking at the right level to begin with. So you may think, oh, I probably need somebody that's got hires, or I maybe need somebody that's got national 5s. What does that actually mean? So let's look at that SCQF level 5. So level 5 is a national 5. It's a standard grade general, a standard grade credit pass, or a good pass at O grade would be a level 5. So one of the first things that we encourage employers to do is to look at their job role and say, does this describe the person that I need for this role? So over in this column, that's the bit I look at first, and it gives you a range of different competency areas. Not all of these will be as relevant for your job role as others. So have a look, choose the ones that you think are the most relevant, and see if that describes your job role. If you're not sure, have a look at the wider page, look at the different responsibilities, the knowledge and skills a little bit deeper. If you feel that that describes the type of person you need, fantastic. You're looking for someone at level 5. If you think, well, it might be a little bit higher than the type of person I need or the skills that I need, then you can look down at a lower level, or you might go the other way. You may feel that you need somebody working at a higher level, but we're going to say that it was somebody working at a lower level we needed. So you would then come down to level 4, have a look at level 4 and see if this describes the person that you need. And you do this until you find the correct level for your job role. Once you've got that level, so for example, if you were asking for national 5s for your job role, if you decided actually the skills were more related to a level for someone working at level 4, you've already widened your pool of people that you can be recruiting from, because you could be looking at any qualifications at SCQF level 4. So that would be NAT 4s, it could be a standard grade general, and it could be a range of those different qualifications that Aileen explained to us earlier. But so you've already cast your net wider. The other thing that we try and encourage employers to do is not just look at qualifications, but also look at what skills people may have. People may have not been in work for a while and they're coming back to work. They don't necessarily have qualifications, but they may have a range of skills and experience that would be very useful for you. So how do you capture that? So what we suggest to employers is that you do something along these lines. So you could write, this role would suit someone working at SCQF level 6. And this is actually a link. If you click on it, it'll take you to our website where we have all that information that I showed you in that page for level 6 laid out, so someone can decide whether they match that description or not. Young people coming out of school will all know what SCQF levels their qualifications are at, so they will automatically know as well. If you're wanting your job adverts to be going out not just for school leavers but for a wider audience, you can give a range, for example, and give a range of some of the qualifications that would be at that particular level. And on those web pages, there is information about all the different qualifications or the range of different types of qualifications that are at those levels. But what we encourage you to do is not just look at qualifications, but look for qualifications or skills and experience at your SCQF level. That way, if somebody's not sure if this would be suitable for them, they can then click through and read and decide whether they feel they have the experience, but not only feel they have the experience. We could all say, oh yes, I'm a level 12, but they have to then explain that to you through their application. But it helps give them the wording to be able to do that. It lets them see what it is that you're looking for. What types of skills and experience are you looking for? So what we're trying to do is change this language around recruitment to look at, instead of looking at these specific qualifications, hires, national fives, degrees, we're trying to encourage employers to ask for SCQF levels, understand the range of those qualifications that are at those levels, but also be able to recognise skills and experience at those levels. If you would like, I'm very happy to have conversations and we can go into this in more depth when we have a little bit more time, and I can show you through our website and we can go into the range of different tools that we have to help you out with this. But we run a recognition scheme called Inclusive Recruiter. And to be an inclusive recruiter, you are trained by us and we will explain just what I've talked to you today, but in greater depth. And you would make a pledge to, instead of using those specific qualifications, your Nat 5s, your hires, your degrees, you would use SCQF levels in recruitment. And if you do that, then you can be an SCQF inclusive recruiter. We are here to help you with every step. We will be very happy to help you with training anyone within your organisation you feel needs trained. We can help you with the wording of your job adverts, particularly. There are some roles that you may have where you have to have specific qualifications for a regulatory body. For example, if you're in the care industry. So we can talk about how we can deal with that. Quite often for those roles, you're actually training people up yourself. So we can discuss what you need to do for those. But in doing this, you're allowing as many people as possible who have the relevant skills and experience to apply for your jobs. And it may be that there are people out there that have just exactly the type of experience that you're needing who would have been excluded if you'd put in a specific qualification. So we'll help you with anything that you need. As you can see, there's a range of different organisations that have already signed up to this. And it does help you cast that net a little bit wider. So as I say, I'm very happy to help you out with anything that you need. All the information that I've spoken about today is available on our website. If you go to support for employers, there's a range of different information there, the things that we've talked about today. But I would be very happy, you can take down my email address there. Please feel free to get in touch and we can chat a little bit more in depth about how you recognise these different qualifications. What does it mean in your organisation? Any issues that you may have, that you may want a little bit of support with? And I'm happy to help you out. And if you want to become an SCQF inclusive recruiter and join that page of different logos, I'd be very happy to talk to you about that as well. Thank you very much.
That's great. Thank you very much, Nicola. I'm pretty sure that struck a chord with everyone. A lot of food for thought there, a lot of stuff going on. So just a reminder that DYW can be this conduit. We want to get you, the industry experts, in front of the experts at education. We've got dedicated coordinators in each school, and we have a regional team that are able to link everyone in together. So at this moment in time, you'll see on the chat there's been a lot of resource posted and some contact details. But if anyone has any questions just now, it'd be an ideal time. We've got colleagues from education as well as SCQF and DYW on the call, so feel free to stick up a hand just now. Nope, it was that in-depth and informative. Must have been. As I said, you'll have the DYW inbox address as an invitation to this event. You'll also have on the chat the email addresses from Michelle and Nicola. I can just see that Julie Kavanagh of SCQF has just put her hand up. Julie?
I just thought I'd come in, Nikki, just to, actually, I wanted to ask a question, if that's all right, of Aileen. And I know she was talking about the positive destinations and how some of the work that they've been doing around learning pathways has really improved the positive destinations. I think, Aileen, you said it was 98.64% in 2021. And it was really just to find out if you, obviously 21, 22, you'll have done 2021, so 21, 22 is just about to hand. And I guess it's really to find out from you, do you see that, do you think that percentage will improve again? And do you think that the SCQF, the sort of ambassador programme, has really made a difference to the destinations percentage? That was all I was thinking.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I hope it does improve. As Michelle said earlier, Michelle's obviously in the Towards Better Futures team in the council, and our strategies towards 100%, you know, for 2023. So we're always looking to improve all the time. And in terms of those destinations, yeah, I would say probably a lot of young people, and that particularly we maybe had more moving into work than we've had in the past. And I think that's maybe an effect of the pandemic and schools being closed. I think some young people are a bit disconnected, and there's a lot of opportunities for work out there. I think especially sort of in the kind of retail, sort of fast food sector, that they've picked up jobs rather than coming back to school. But certainly in terms of the SCQF and what we've been doing, I think the courses that the staff have been developing across the school and the partnerships that we've been really developing since, you know, we met with Donnie in school and became a school ambassador in November 2019. I think that's helped to really kind of engage the young people and think about their pathways and where they want to go. And realise that, you know, there's lots of different routes to take, so it doesn't matter where you start. You can start at one place and they can move through to wherever hopefully it is that they would like to be. So yeah, I think it definitely has had an impact on our destinations, sort of developing the curriculum, as you say, and supporting the young people and their parents and carers to see pathways and see different ways they can go, and not get too hung up on something if they can't quite get there straight from school. Thanks, if that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Aileen. Thanks, Julie. Anyone else like to come in? Be particularly keen to hear from any employers who might have any questions. Hi, Miriam.
Hello. It's probably not a question that can actually be answered, but I guess from our point of view, something we've been having lots of discussions about how to make our recruitment as inclusive as possible, and for people from lots of different backgrounds and things. And we changed our qualifications to Nat 4. So I think I'll go back and discuss quite a lot that has come up here. But I guess the one thing that I know people ask about is how do you do shortlisting? Because we are quite fortunate. We do get a lot of people applying for jobs, and we just have a kind of set criteria, and people just kind of go through things. But how do we make sure we're shortlisting in the fairest possible way? And I don't know if any other employers on here have got any kind of best practice examples of that, or yeah, no, it's not going to be something that I was going to answer right now, but just for any ideas.
I think that's one for Nicola there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that. From an SCQF point of view, it's making sure that those alternative qualifications are understood by everyone who's shortlisting.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm very happy to come in and discuss this and train up recruiting managers and the people who will be doing the shortlisting.
Yeah.
Because it's great if everyone in HR knows, but the shortlisting is often being done by those managers. So be very happy to help out, and also just having them on board and understanding what equivalent skills and experience would look like as well is really, really helpful. So I'd be very happy to go through a more in-depth than I've done today training with those recruiting managers as well, if you want to.
Yep. Thank you.
That's great. Thanks, Nicola. So we've still got a couple of minutes left if anyone would like to come in. Nope. Getting to that time of the day, is it? Brilliant. So thanks everybody for your participation and your time. As I say, the contact details are all there. You have the DYW, and we're always happy to answer any questions across the whole stakeholder network. So anything at all, any ideas you've got, any queries, just bring them on. And Michelle, you've got something to just add?
Nikki, can I just say that the presentation from Aileen McManus has got the link in for the YouTube. So, you know, Aileen will be more than happy for that to be circulated to any partner organisations. And the last thing I'll say from a Glasgow point of view, DYW Glasgow support us phenomenally. So if you kind of don't have our email address and want to chat with us, DYW Glasgow are phenomenal about linking us all together. So, but by all means, I'm sure, Nikki, it'd be an open invite for anybody to come back to yourself. So thank you very much.
Could I just say as well, on the back of what Michelle said, I posted the wee YouTube link on the chat, and during the time, I think, Nicola, you were talking, I highlighted it from the chat and put it into the new tab in my laptop here, and it seemed to work. So if anybody wants to have a look at it, you can certainly do that now, and you'll see it when we come off the call. Thanks for your time, everyone.
Thanks, Aileen. Nicola, is that a legacy hand or is that a new hand?
It's a new hand. I just wanted to say, Nikki, if you're able to email out to people who are on the call today or anyone who signed up but missed it, I can send some information out with all the links that I looked at today and a summary of the support we can provide. And we could also maybe add in the link to the video in that email as well. That'd be really good.
Absolutely, we'll certainly do that.
Could also share the presentation as well. That'd be all right, wouldn't it, Nicola?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, well, thank you very much again for your time, and there will be more upcoming events. I think the next one's probably going to be in August now, to give everybody a chance for a wee break. So keep your eyes peeled on Eventbrite and on your email chains, because it will be coming directly to you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you.